Hello and welcome to another 5-minute Bible study. I'm Carl Santos, the pastor at New City Church in Calgary, Canada. So today we're looking at a parable in chapter 15 of Luke, the parable of the lost coin. So let's get right into that. Let me read it for you. It's Jesus saying a parable. Or what woman, having 10 silver coins, if she loses one coin, does not light a lamp and sweep the house and seek diligently until she finds it? And when she has found it, she calls together her friends and neighbors and saying, "Rejoice with me, for I found the coin that I had lost." Just so, I tell you, there is joy before the angels of God over one sinner who repents. Now, what is going on here? So, first, let's set the context. Chapter 15 is a parable, is a chapter of parables. Jesus finds himself being grumbled at by the Pharisees. They're grumbling about his interacting with sinners, that he would dare to do this and to engage with these undesirable elements of society. And then Jesus responds with 3 parables: the parable of the lost sheep, the lost coin, and the prodigal son in chapter 15. And that's quite normal rhetorical technique for the ancient rhetorician or teacher, using threes to make a point. So this is the middle parable that is often neglected because it seems on the outside to not offer much, but I think it offers an awful lot. Okay, because Jesus, remember the context. He is trying to explain what his point, why he's doing what he's doing, why is he seeking these sinners, and why the Pharisees are wrong to grumble. Okay, so this is what we call in the academic world. There is let me put them up here. It's called an interrogative or an interrogative parable, which means it asks questions, and it asks the question specifically here. Or what woman? It asks us to jump into the skin of the woman and decide who would behave differently than this woman. And of course, it's rhetorical. The answer is nobody. She's behaving just the way anybody of that time would, and probably today too. But a more important one here is it's also what we call, how much more parable. And what that means is the woman is used as a foil. Okay, she's a foil. If you know your Shakespeare, Laertes is a foil to Hamlet. It's somebody we are meant to contrast with God, not to be, she's not God, it's not allegorical, but she's meant to be contrasted with God. Because if the woman behaves in this way, and we'll see how she behaves, how much more would God behave in more grand efforts to find this lost coin? So let me look at what we are getting at here specifically. So she has 10 coins, she loses 1. So 1/10 of her fortune or her savings is gone. And look at the energy she expends. She lights a lamp. She sweeps the house. She seeks diligently, which is by the word carefully is another good word translation for that Greek word, until she finds it. So notice she's expending things. There is money that she is expending because this lighting a lamp is a candle or a wick or oil, whatever she was using. There's an expense to that. So she's spending her money to do this, but she's also expending her effort. She's also spending her effort to sweep and to look diligently. This is a meticulous searching for this coin. Okay, and when she finally does find it, let me get another color. She calls together her friends, this is the feminine, by the way. It's a feminine term, which means she's calling her girlfriends over and having a girls' night out, saying, "Let's go." And isn't it interesting? She loses a coin, and then when she finds it, and this coin's worth about a day's wage, we think, she then expends that same coin to throw a party for her friends about finding it. So it's incredible. She's not saving it. She's not looking for it to save it, to hoard it. But she does this and she rejoices. This is key. And this is the way the woman behaves. Okay, she works hard, she finds it, and then she rejoices. And if that's the case, then we have this just so. If that's how much she does it, just so, in the same way, and more so, this is what happens in heaven. There's joy before the angels of God when one repents. And all of these parables in this section are about loss, finding, and rejoicing. Okay? And Jesus is trying to tell the Pharisees, the reason you're grumbling is because you don't understand that God's mission, the Missio Dei, the God's mission, is to come and seek that which is lost. He's finding them. All those that are his, he is finding. And then when he finds, and they find him and he finds them, there's a rejoicing that happens. God loves to seek us, and he's relentless in doing so. And when he finds us, he is excited and he parties over it. And the Pharisees are grumbling because they don't understand this mission. Because they don't understand who Jesus is and what he is there to do, They grumble at his means. And he's saying through these parables, don't you see? Don't you see what God is doing in the world? And when they do that, they will begin he's actually calling them to join into the mission and to rejoice through these parables. Join him in what he's doing. Of course, some don't see that. And we today as a church are called to do the exact same thing, to seek that which is lost graciously and by applying the gospel. And then to see that Jesus gave up all. If we give up our time and our money to to serve the mission of God, Jesus gave up everything to find that which is lost. And that is what is happening here in the parable of the lost coin.